Hey everybody, it's Brian back with Inspiring How You See That. We're the channel that talks about all different kinds of music and entertainment and interviews some of your favorite artists. And if you guys have watched the channel, you already know who these guys are.
Your favorite band.
Exactly. We've got Chris
It
Adam.
is, actually.
It is. We've
Yeah.
got Chris Adam and Per from Smash Into Pieces. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We've been wanting to talk with you for quite a while, and now we're up here in Toronto, and this is actually the second show of your North American tour, right?
Oh, yeah, our first.
Nice. And this is your first headlining tour here?
Yeah.
Nice. So we actually saw you a few years ago in Philadelphia when you were here with Within Temptation.
Yeah.
And you guys put on a fantastic...
In Flames also, actually.
That's right. That's right. You guys put on a fantastic show, and since then you've been growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I've actually not grown pounds during this tour. I've actually got smaller.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
With the band, of course, you've been hitting big.
Yeah. It's been a good run since the last time we were here.
Yeah. So how many dates do you have on this tour over North America?
I think it's 19 dates, and then it's straight back home, and the tour is kind of continuing the whole year. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're staying busy.
Very cool. That's one thing I wanted to ask you. You know, staying busy. You guys are constantly putting out new music.
And tours.
Yeah, exactly. Is it something that you do you really set aside time to write, or is it as ideas come up, that's as you write them?
Well, we're lucky enough now to have when we're not on tour, we're working in our own studio, just writing songs and producing, and I think all of us we like to stay busy on the tour as well. If we
Okay.
have time in the tour bus, all of us have our mobile gear so we can write music and
Sure.
always be creative. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, one of the things that I've always loved about your music is every song is different from the last one that came out. And so, I mean, you cross genres. You know, obviously rock, but you've got dance. I mean, there's even been times where you get close to country. I mean, how would you describe your sound to someone who hasn't heard you?
We've been talking about this a lot, and I think it all comes down to some kind of electro rock.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are rockers in heart, but we are really we listen to everything, man.
Sure.
And if we have a good song, we do a good song, and it's still me on the vocals. So that's, with these awesome songwriters, Per and Banjo, and yeah, and the other guys we're working with. I try to, I'm just a messenger on those songs. So we just enjoy good music, I think.
Sure.
And it doesn't really matter if it's a cool heavy metal riff or, it doesn't really matter for us.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that I like is you've come out with a number of different versions of songs that you've done, like some of the acoustic or the piano versions. When you're initially writing the song, is that in mind that you want to do different versions, or how does that come about?
No, but I think usually we write kind of melodic stuff, and it isn't that hard to mix it up a bit and try, as we do with the original song as well. Usually we have a rock foundation, and maybe we'll try some, to borrow something from another genre or something in the verses, but then we come back to the rock roots in the chorus usually.
Okay.
But then it's always fun to do more, to let his vocal shine a bit more, and maybe have something a bit more mellow and acoustic or strings and piano versions. I was actually sitting in the bus working on our next it's gonna be a unplugged version of our latest single, 6 Feet Under. So yeah, it will
Very
be
cool.
released soon.
Yeah, we actually did re-recording. We didn't really take the original vocals. We did
Okay.
a whole new version of it, so it's gonna come out.
Took your
Oh, thanks, man. We're kind of the same person right now. I have 15 years touring, so we're the same. Yeah,
Nice.
same person.
So, and you guys and Banjo have been around since the very beginning, correct?
Yeah, he's the founder of Smash Into Pieces, Banjo.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did the Apocalypse DJ come about? Where'd you guys find him? What's the story behind him?
You're actually better of explaining this, so.
Well, actually, if you look very closely, he was in our first album, Unbreakable, He's
Okay.
in the booklet. It's like a shadow. Just you can
Okay.
see him like a some kind of shadow.
It's like a premonition of them.
Yeah, and the second album that was the Apocalypse DJ, where we kind of introduced him as our like a spirit, watching over us. And then the third album, Rise and Shine, he appeared as the physical form that he is. So yeah, he's kind of always been with us, but in different forms. So
Gotcha. Now, I want to ask you about being from Sweden. There seems to be a ton of great rock bands coming from Sweden. You guys, Amaranth. Pine Hill is one of the smaller ones. What do you think is special about Sweden that you guys just kick ass at rock?
I think there's a structure kind of in Sweden which makes it pretty easy to get your space for, having a band, like rehearsals, and you got some support that you can, they kind of help you pay the rent for your, space to rehearse.
Okay.
And you got a pretty good music school thing in Sweden, so I think it's maybe easier to get going in Sweden, and that's, and then the wheel is turning, so.
That combined with the constant darkness of Scandinavia,
You're stuck
it's
inside.
a really good mix.
We know how that is in
We
Pennsylvania.
are so depressed in Sweden. Can't even imagine. You're like the English version of Sweden, actually, in Canada. But you're not from Canada.
That's right.
But
That's
we
right.
are in Canada right now. That's
We're
what
from
I'm
Erie,
supposed to say.
Pennsylvania, which gets the snow and the
Yeah.
9 months of winter. And
Yeah. So
Nice. Now, you talked about that you're constantly writing. Are you guys working on a new album right now, or?
yeah, I mean, we are supposed to, or I think we will release a new album in this autumn, or maybe early next year. We're touring so much now, so we're trying to keep up with everything. It's kind of hard when you're
Sure.
on the road. So, for example, now Per wasn't on the European tour. He was writing music at home, and we took in a stand-in guy. And for this tour, KJ from Kill the Kong is here, playing with us, and Banjo is home and keeps on writing his songs. So
Okay.
when we come back, I actually have songs to record on.
Okay. Is he working
So-
on like his Blue Chain project and things of that nature as well?
Well, we're working on all three at the same time. So yeah, but yeah, Blue Chain is a new project which Banjo has started, and yeah, we'll see about that in the future.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's of course going to be more songs with
Sure.
Blue Chain. Yeah, of course.
Very cool. Now, being on the road, being on the other side of the planet, actually, from home, what is the toughest part of doing a tour like this for you guys?
Being away from my girlfriend and son.
Sure.
Yeah, and the silence in your apartment. You can do. You can just you have your own space. It's it's that's what I'm missing when I'm gone.
Sure.
And I think that's the same even, wherever we go on tour, it's always that you're kind of missing your home and your, family. But also like starting a new tour, you don't really know what to expect until you've done like a couple of shows and how everything is going to be. And this tour we decided we're getting a driver later, but now we're driving ourselves. So we picked up this biggest RV that we ever seen. And in Sweden we would have never been allowed to drive this. So now here we are like driving in the middle of New York with like
Through these Toronto streets.
knowing nothing really how to do this. And the first night when we were going to JFK to pick up some of the other guys, we didn't know that like 3-lane highway actually had like bridges that were not high enough for this vehicle to pass. So I'm like in panic when I'm seeing like numbers on the bridge. It says like 11 feet, and I remember that
It's 13 feet.
they said like 13 feet, and I was like, no! So those
I just
things.
woke up like fell off the bed actually.
Yeah.
When he
You know that.
so
Isn't that why they say in the
by,
bunk?
learning by doing fucking hard.
Isn't that why they say in the bunk to have your feet facing front? Just
Exactly. Yeah. So that's has been an adventure to learn these things on this tour.
Yeah.
So, but at least it's a good vehicle. Last tour we did in US, we didn't have the AC working, and it was
Oh.
like the heat wave.
Yeah.
So, like in Phoenix, it was 44
was
Celsius.
And
Yeah.
we just gave up. We were like sitting in the tour bus like that, and had like underwear and no t-shirts. And we're like, yeah, just
waiting to die.
Yeah, like
It's like you have.
you don't even need to shower anymore. It's like
The weird thing is, you always have energy on stage.
Sure.
You have like 1 hour each day where you just give all, and then you're back to like zombie mode.
sounds like fun, right?
Yeah.
No,
So
but
it's-
it's actually fun. We're laughing quite a lot. So.
Sure.
Two
of good
mics,
stories.
two mics and one guy. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're missing the family and our kids and all that. So
Sure. Is that I know the Blue Jay, the Happy Birthday song? Was that kind of the story of when you sang that?
are we even
you
on the
listened to
same
song?
question anymore?
No, this is a new question.
Is it-
Just asking it.
This is a new question.
This is a new question.
Okay. Just
Sorry.
speaking of touring and jet lagged and stuff.
And like
that, sorry.
being away from family, that song "Happy Birthday" when
Yeah.
you sang that. Is that where that came from? And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How it is to be a touring dad and missing your son's birthday. It's not so fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
But you mentioned being on stage. That's kind of like that hour and a half that you get the energy. Is that feeding off of the crowd, or how do you get yourself psyched up for that?
Yeah. I would definitely say that it's feeding, the reaction of the crowd, and just, I mean, sometimes you don't know what to expect before the show. You don't have to necessarily be like, let's go. You're kind of, okay, let's do this. You're having a bad day or something, but when you come out and get the reaction and see, and you realize that, like, these people actually went, drove 6 hours, paid the tickets, they're here, they're excited. That kind of makes it
they
impossible not to get
fixed babysitters and did the makeup and all that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of. It's more than just people coming here. It's more like the whole thing behind it. Like, it's people are really putting in the effort to come here and see us.
Sure.
And it's all about the music in the end. And it's cool to see people get together for the music.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing, actually, I think.
Now, how special is it for you guys to have the smash heads, the fan the fan army around the whole world, knowing that there's people everywhere from Sweden to America and every point in between loving you guys?
It's I don't think, even though we have done this for 15 years and been, as you said, all over the world, we can't really understand the whole thing. We're just a bunch of guys want to play music, and we met in the rehearsal room for the love of music, and that's where we are still, I think. So it's for example, now when we were in this Eurovision thing, you can't even go into the gas station anymore without people attacking you, want to take pictures with you. It's a kind of surreal thing, and yeah, but it's we're honored. It's a cool thing to bring people together and see them smile and having a good time, and it's a beautiful thing,
Sure.
So it's like a religion or something. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
I think it's also really cool to hear, people saying that this song saved me from this, or they made like an own, history with it
Sure.
somehow. And it's so cool to just to hear these stories and, realize that the effort that you put in it and how it kind of gets its own life from there. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird because it feels like it's only us, a couple of guys just doing this, and it's wild to think about that people actually come to the shows from when we travel like half the globe to some town. You know, it's
Like 23 hours of the day we're rocking dads. Just wanna, living in this,
and you aren't a rocking dad when you're on stage.
Yeah, but I mean, like when we are on the stage, something happens. Like an outside body experience. Like it's us and them, and it's one thing
Deep.
coming together, and you become like larger than life.
Sure.
And it's surreal.
Nice. And before we wrap it up, I was curious, and each of you might have a different answer. What is your favorite song to perform live in front of fans?
So I'll start. I think it's a different song for each night.
Okay.
It's more about the reaction you see, from the audience and hearing people singing along and something that, oh, this song sticks out today. So I wouldn't say like beforehand that I know this is my moment. It's more like seeing how people react and kind of
feeling it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, I think I have, of course, Let Me Be a Superhero, especially the live thing I do at the end with the high note thing, and it gets people going, really, and me. It's kept me going. If I have a good day, though. Not like this today when we did this VIP thing. It sounded like I don't know what happened.
Gotta warm up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So didn't really sound as I was imagining it was supposed to sound. But yeah, so Let Me Be a Superhero, and I think that Boomerang is one of those like anthem songs that never gets old. People singing along to that. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, again, Chris, Adam, thank you so much. I mean, this truly is an honor. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Got my dad and my brother here. We're all huge fans of you guys, so really excited to see you again. And before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say to fans?
Well, thank you so much for supporting us, and we will do 15 more years, I guarantee you. And in the end, everyone is going to wear masks because we're going to get old. Then our kids are going to take over Smashing to Pieces, so the future looks bright.
Smashing the hips into pieces. Very cool.
Botox, here we go.
Very cool. Well, thanks again, guys. And as always, we want to thank you guys for spending this time with us. We love you all. God bless, and rock on.
And see you on YouTube.